This has got to be one of the most sorry excuses for a non-man that I've ever seen. No masculine energy, no instincts, no problem with not taking care of their family. Run for your life now. What absolute madness does the throuple bring? It does not disappoint. You don't want to miss this. But first, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with all your friends. If you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate all the support that y'all do every single week. It is awesome. Thank you so much. Let's get right into it because this episode gets crazier and crazier because as much as we think that maybe things will just kind of lull out, they do not. And the drama just keeps coming. Do you think anyone will work out? What do y'all think? Drop it in the comments. I don't have my high hopes, but to be determined. Let's get it.
Let's go
What you got
surprise
there?
him. Let me see if I have some juice.
You might walk in that room and he's like, I'm leaving, going back to the cruises. Eggs and banana? I mean, I like them both, but that's just a bizarre flavor combination right to start off. But I don't know, maybe because he's used to tropical environments? Bananas? Oh no.
Okay,
The
I don't know how to start.
saxophone. All right, hold on. They play the saxophone like we about to get down, but look at how awkward this actually is.
All right, I know how to
So,
start.
oh, I know how to get started.
Finally.
Woo, yeah.
Can I get a pillow?
After
All right.
tonight.
I would not be surprised if it comes out that they actually did not do anything right here and that was just all staged and some acting and maybe they're just living in a sex-free relationship. I don't know, but that was just awkward. I get it. They haven't been together in a long time, but it's a little bizarre of not even knowing how to cuddle. I mean, come on, Juan. But, it gets a little crazier with him as the friend likes to bring up some things later on in the episode.
The cruise ship and the town is a whole different thing. It's not the same life.
Nope.
I think she's grown and she just don't want to accept it.
Yes, and the problem is that she keeps trying to say it's the same. I mean, it's a small community in the cruise ship, you see. There's only like 1,000 people there. There's only like a few thousand people here. Yeah, but it feels like a big city on the cruise ship. It's like the nightlife. Here, it's a small town. I have respect for small towns because, I have family members that grew up in them and I used to love going to them. But it's not the big lifestyle of a cruise ship that he's used to. So she's better off instead of being like, it's kind of the same and trying to draw comparisons to be like, I get it. It's completely different. We're growing as a family and we're going to get there and we can talk about things in the future for maybe different places we can live, leaving it open, but saying we're going to get through this together. I understand what you're going through. She's not handling this situation well. Listen, he's going to look out and see his mom mowing the lawn, but why would that not, question, does that bother you? And why does it bother you?
Hey, Mom.
This mom is out there first thing in the morning, mowing the lawn, edging, weed eating, and her lazy POS son, who doesn't do anything, is sitting there, laying in bed, not even offering to help. He should be out there cutting this grass. Good Lord, it's the least he could do for his mother. That is pathetic.
Getting our own house will make me feel better.
Yeah.
Oh, no, baby, it's definitely on top priority.
Oh, top
For
priority.
sure.
Yeah, okay. How is that top priority when you can't even seem to get a job? You can't even seem to come up with an idea of a job you might want to do. Everything is not what you want to do because you're perpetually in a 17-year-old state of, what do I want to be when I grow up? Listen, you can be 35 and say, I don't really know what I want to be while still providing for your family. At least then you have some ambition and you have some goals and you're trying to actually be there as a man. This fool ain't got none of that.
Listen, when you have your own house and you start paying your bills, you'll see how conscious.
Hold on a second.
Of everything.
What'd she say? She just said when you have your own house and you start paying your own bills, you will be conscious of everything. This fool is not even paying anything at the house. He's in his 30s and he's not even messing with any utilities or anything. The mom goes on to say he's not paying any rent. Look, it's one thing to help out your child. It's another thing to enable your child. Letting him just continually stay there rent-free, paying for nothing, while he can just skate along without any job and kind of floating through life, failure to launch, not knowing what he wants to be when he grows up, is not good as a parent. This is a parenting failure.
Red doesn't help out.
What?
But he keeps a lot of food coming into this house.
Oh, he doesn't help out. He doesn't help out with the lawn. He doesn't help out with the bills. He doesn't help out with paying the rent, but he keeps food coming in with probably your credit card that he has in his wallet. would be my guess. These are the stipulations. Like, there's a water bill, there's an electric bill, all these things we got. If you could help him keep his room tidy, I'm like, what do you think she is, his maid? I mean, make your son be accountable. Hold him accountable for his own actions. This seems to be incapable of this mother. She can say everything about this lady taking how many showers she takes, which I get. Water bills are expensive, so I do understand. Like, 3 showers? Okay, fine to say, hey, or, maybe length of time. But at the same time, I don't really hold what you say with much weight, considering you don't even hold your son accountable for cleaning his room, let alone having a job and paying bills and being responsible and all of these things that he should be doing, but he's not. Welcome back, Aaliyah and Sean. Good Lord, here we go.
Metamorphosis has happened, so I want to focus my energy on what is.
This is the biggest cope I've ever seen in my entire life. When we talked about them before, I said the same thing. This dude is a gay dude. He is struggling with coping with the fact that he was with Douglas and now Douglas wants to be Aaliyah. And sorry, but you're a gay dude and I get it. Aaliyah is still got the parts and everything like that, but Aaliyah has still talked about surgery and things of that nature, so Sean is having a little problem with the cope of the matter that eventually Aaliyah might be missing some things that he actually wants Aaliyah to have because he's a gay dude. These are things that need to be worked out. Instead, he's just trying to kind of push it to the side and not act like it bothers him, when every time he talks about this kind of stuff, clearly it's on his mind.
Living with them is something else.
Ooh.
Like, I don't think
You
I
don't
can
like cats.
do it. I don't think I can touch them.
Oh, that's a problem. So apparently she has a cat, and apparently ever since he was little, his mom talked about how dirty cats were, and you know what? I mean, that's different cultures. I get it. And look, I'm not a cat person, but fine, to each their own. You like cats? That's cool. But when you've been raised since you were little to say cats are bad, cats are dirty, don't touch them, they'll give you diseases, my God, and now he's all of a sudden living with a cat, he's a little apprehensive. And she's like, oh, you'll love the cat, whatever the cat's name is, you'll love him, he's great. And he's like, hesitant. And I mean, you can't really blame him. That's going to be a hard, adjustment.
Yeah, like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
It's like all she draws
Honestly,
is boobs.
I've been always wondering if Stevie is into women.
And this is going to be a whole thing, apparently, because, I mean, what would you think? You walk in, and this person's an artist, and everything they have is breasts. All they have is women's breasts everywhere. When they bring in a model, they're painting women's breasts. That's it. The one picture they have of a guy is of him with abs. Okay, great. But it would raise some questions of, do you have some other proclivities that I need to know about? But, apparently they're going to get to that. It's the reuniting. Yay! Yay, we're all hugging. But, who's going to be the third wheel in this one? Oh, look at that, look at that. Look, they're just going in like it's nothing. He's just been pushed to the side. Look at that. Like, they're like, yeah, full-blown makeout. And when she finally kisses him, it's more of a peck. Of course, this is going to create drama in some future episodes for some other things, so make sure you're tuning in for those. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and follow. Also, hit that bell for notifications, because it's going to get insane as we go on, because what have I been saying this whole time? What is the throuple going to lead to? Nothing but jealousy. That's all it's going to be. They seem all great and well, and oh, we're this great that you find your one person, but then you got to find your other person, and you have this magical throuple. I'm like, until everything falls apart, because there is jealousy involved, but they can't seem to grasp that right now. Oh, yay, 3 hearts.
I miss a lot all the time.
Oh, all the time, I miss.
I miss you. I miss you.
It's like, okay, the same thing. This is like a relationship in middle school. You see a pattern with these relationships. They're all very middle school. They're not mature. They have the giddiness of that's never gonna last. They claim it's forever when they don't really have any foundation for it. It's middle school. It's passing a note across the desk saying, "Do you like me? Check yes or no." That's what this is.
Can't just envision anything romantic with number 3.
Oh, why not?
It's very sexualized.
Oh, who would have thought that the throuple, when you all seem to be all over each other, is very sexualized? Why on earth would that be? And oh, probably because most of the time this doesn't work out. It ends up that one gets more attention than the other, and then they run off together and one is left in the dark because it's not a real relationship. They want to claim it is, but it's never going to be. What are you going to, you probably have a 0.0001% of people who can actually make that work, and I guarantee that they have suppressed feelings of jealousy that they'll just never admit to. It's not going to work. And yet you want to be like, oh, they're looking at us. I'm like, yeah, of course they're looking at you. Of course they're staring at you. Like, what do you want a cookie? Like, what do you think? Yes. And when it falls apart, what are you going to do? Say, you stared at us and didn't think it was going to work. Yeah, because it didn't. And it's not going to.
The first woman we ever had a serious relationship with,
yeah.
and she's becoming family.
No, she's not. No, she's not. And oh, by the way, have you set aside his chair in the corner there so he can be the guy who just watches? There's a word for it, but to be, friendly with the video, I'm not going to say it. But, he's just most of the time just going to be sitting in the corner while they do their thing, because clearly the wife just wants it for her. It's not about them two, it's about the wife, which is why she's the one later on that's going to be more mad than anything, because she makes it seem like it's them three, but the husband might take it to other levels. Oh, when you wake up pouting like that, look at that. That is a I hate the world pout. All because he wants you to get along with his daughter, but you want to sit there pouting like you're a 5-year-old instead of wanting to deal with it and maybe actually wanting to try to make it work with the daughter. Because the reason the daughter's acting the way she is because you wanted to run off and not spend dinner with the family on their last night there in Paris. And you didn't see anything wrong with that. And because she has some questions about a second baby. I hate to break it to you, you come off as someone who's just trying to get things, possibly money and status, out of this guy who clearly has money and status.
Donc, j'ai pas rencontré quelqu'un qui a moins de 50, 60 ans ici.
You haven't met anyone under 50 or 60, and Mark is the youngest. I wonder why. You are in a community where these people live on a private landing strip. Most of them have planes and hangars on their property. I'm not saying there aren't young people who are very wealthy. There are. There are very rich people that are young. But in this kind of community, guarantee that the majority of people are going to be over 50 or 60. They've spent their whole lives earning this money, building up their wealth. Maybe they were pilots. Maybe they did it somewhere else and they bought a plane. Who knows? But this is the type of community that's going to be older. I get what you're saying. You want a younger people and things of that nature, but it shouldn't be any shock that there's a lot of older people in this kind of community.
And there are other ladies in the neighborhood that like to cook. They like to crochet and knit.
And what else?
And I like a martini.
I bet you do. Welcome to the Sloshed Grandmothers Club. Congratulations. You are a member now. This lady is so wasted on her martinis. I'm like, this lady is like 70-something years old. She's like, I enjoy a good martini. Welcome, you crochet. You garden? I'm going to go drink over here. This lady is so trashed right now.
But the market told me he need an authorization to Jordan.
That is not what he said. That is a complete lie. What he said was, I want you to get along with my daughter. And she may have a concern about that and kind of voiced what those concerns would be. Possibly, trying to be more anchored to the U.S. Possibly more of just trying to get a visa, those kind of things, even though you already have a baby with him, which... yeah, probably. And those concerns are just concerns. It wasn't, I have to check with my daughter first, so you're lying, and you're trying to get the neighbors on your side. This is a tactic. This is what she's trying to do. She's trying to get more people on her side to get mad at him, so he eventually basically shuns his daughter, because what she would like is the daughter's out of the life, just gone, no more, not talking to her. She wouldn't care. She wouldn't shed a tear. She wouldn't even feel bad if he's over there upset. Wouldn't care. But that's what she wants.
C'est mon corps.
Oh, it's absurd. My body, my own wishes. Sure. I don't understand why it feels like I'm in a relationship with Mark and Jordan. Listen, what you're saying right now is complete and utter BS, because you're talking about making a baby. Making that baby takes two. Mark has to be a part of that. Jordan does not have any say in it whatsoever. It is ultimately up to Mark. If he sees reason, and maybe it's not good to have another child, that's fine. Has nothing to do with your body, your choice. Two people, and he is one of them. So stop acting like this isn't only your choice. You say, I want a baby, and then Mark comes running because he's like a robot that you tell. He gets to decide as well. Give him that agency too, just like you want for yourself. Now, if Jordan comes in and starts acting like she's running things, that could be a problem. And I get that. But right now, you need to act like what you are and try to actually repair a relationship instead of acting like you're completely shut off simply because Jordan has some questions. That's ridiculous. You are coming off as someone that's trying to alienate him from the rest of his family. Bad move.
Applied for regular tourist visas.
What?
We got denied.
Tourist visa got denied.
We applied for school visas.
And
got denied.
Got denied.
And if she's not approved for this, we've tapped out.
One of the main things going on with Sean and Aaliyah is, will Aaliyah get approved for this visa? And they try to go the route of, oh, but it may say boy on all the paperwork, but if Aaliyah shows up as a girl, then will they get denied? And oh, they might be someone that's biased. Well, for one, no, it could be someone looking at the paperwork and say, something doesn't match up here. You're going by a different name. You're saying you're a woman. You don't look like a man. All of these things. That's not a bias. That's number one. Number two is you're saying that you were on your third attempt at different visas. You were going from the tourist visa to the student visa to the 90-day fiancé type visa. Someone could simply look at that and be like, it looks like they're scamming the system. They can't make up what they want, and so they're doing this as a last resort. So they're setting this up as a victim card kind of moment, when in reality, there's a lot of red flags there that any assessor could say, hey, this might be a problem.
But people reject me, and the way that people you look to me, they you do to me.
Again, this is Aaliyah having the moment of, should I go as my biological sex or dressed up and all that? And then wants to go the route of, everyone's judging me. Look, this is all setting up for if it was a denial. You don't know it's going to be a denial, and I'm going to assume it's probably not, considering it shows later episodes of being in LA, so that probably doesn't happen. But it was an easy way to set up, in case it didn't go that way, to blame it on everything else but the fact that they tried 2 other visas first. That would cause a big red flag. MC Yeast in the building. Why does he, every time he get introed, he comes in with rap music? I mean, I dig it, but it's just hilarious how that's the option they go. I'm telling you, MC Yeast moonlighting as a rapper, look for it. New album dropping soon.
For now.
You have a budget now?
Do I have a budget right now? Really? If I just see something I like, I just buy it?
With what? With mom's credit card? So she's asking him, this is the thing, and this is why everything for me says that she is probably here for the right reasons. Now, I can look at him and be like, he's kind of a bizarre looking dude, but hey, you know, it's not about looks. You might love the dude for whatever reason, but every time she's trying to talk to him about real serious stuff, how are we going to get to a certain place? And he's just like, asking about budget. Are you on a budget right now? No, I just kind of see something and I buy it. I'm like, you're the one that doesn't have a job and acts like you have no no motivation or anything, and then yet you just buy whatever you want when you feel it. I'm sure mommy gave you an American Express or something, huh?
I didn't tell you. I thought I did. So they wanted to give me the job.
You didn't tell him.
And I decided not to take it.
Why? Why? So New York State decided to give you a job, but you decided not to take it. Why is that? Let's see.
You need the money.
Yes. Yes, you do.
I don't know, were you coming and everything? I just wanted to be able to spend time with you.
Did he really just try to put this on her and say, with you coming, I just wanted to spend time with you? He is literally trying to push everything out on her and not take any responsibility. But it gets worse.
And it's not necessarily something I was really passionate about. I think I would have
Say
been kind
what?
of like not miserable going to work. I just wouldn't have enjoyed it.
This has got to be one of the most sorry excuses for a non-man that I've ever seen. No masculine energy, no instincts, no problem with not taking care of their family. Run for your life now. This guy is one of the biggest cowards I think I've ever seen in my life. He literally said, you know, I wouldn't be totally miserable, but it's not something I would really like to do. I don't care. The fact is when you have a family, you brought this lady over here, you need to handle your responsibilities and take care of what you have to take care of. She's going to be your family. Handle business. You don't have to like your job, but you do what you got to do. I love making these videos. I love it. But what do you think would happen if I went to my wife and said, you know what, babe, I'm going to quit my job because I ain't really feeling it that much, and I'm just going to sit here and try to make movies. But you know what? We'll figure out the rent and everything. We'll figure out the bills. It'll come. Don't even worry about it. No, you know what that would make me? A sorry excuse for a man. An absolute coward. And this is what this crazy guy is. She needs to run for her life. It is going to be awful for her here, and there is going to be no redemption, because unless he has a giant turnaround or his mom kicks him out of the house, nothing is going to change.
The pressure is tremendous. It's like
the pressure's tremendous.
A balloon just keeps stretching and about to pop.
And yet The pressure ain't so much that you're thinking, maybe I need to get a job now because you turned down a job with New York State because you weren't really feeling it. It wasn't really you. So now you're baking your loaves of bread, making hardly any money off of that, doing some minor plumbing for friends with probably all their stuff falling apart once you leave, and yet that's going to sustain you? No, because mommy pays for everything. That's your problem. What?
Hopefully the rain stops.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. You see that right there? This is why it's a problem for how kids are. This is why kids don't have attention spans. You see that tablet right there? That is the tablet babysitter, the electronic babysitter. This is what kids get these days for the most part. This is the problem. It used to be that you would go out and play. You would deal with various things. They'd have blocks. They'd have all these kind of things they do. But now with the tablets and everything that have all these kid shows and all that, you just put that in front of them and hope they stop crying. And they typically do. But this is also leading to short attention spans with kids. ADHD is on the rise. Or is it perhaps their attention spans are changing because of things like this? The electronic iPad babysitter. That's a problem.
We don't want drama at the wedding.
It's possible she don't coming.
What?
No, it's not possible.
Exactly.
She's coming for the wedding. She's my daughter, baby.
I know. It's like, is it possible she's not coming? Like, look at that face. You saying, is it possible she's not coming? That's what she asked. And then that face says it all. She's like, oh, I'm going to make it my mission to make sure Jordan doesn't come. They haven't even gotten a chance to try to figure out some of their issues yet. Letting Jordan voice some of her concerns. Even letting Mina voice some of her concerns, even though, like, she hasn't acted like she had any reason to whatsoever. So, hasn't given it that shot yet, and yet she's got this evil, I hate you look. That's bad. She's never going to get along with Jordan. Even if Jordan completely acquiesced and said, you know what, I support you 100%, she would never be okay with it.
C'est à moi de parler à Jordan de cette conversation, mais je pense...
Yeah.
C'est pas à moi, en fait.
It's not that he thinks it's up to you. He's trying to facilitate the conversation. She's saying, he thinks it's up to me. He's trying to facilitate that, but all you want him to do is go there and tell Jordan, you just need to be accepting of this. His daughter's an adult now. She can have her concerns. And you just need to be accepting of this because it's still his daughter. Instead of like trying to make her feel a little bit better and maybe talking to her and y'all can have an actual dialogue, you have completely shut it down and said he needs to tell her what's what. Get over yourself.
I know I'm not getting married until Jordan and Mina find a way to respect each other and get along.
That is interesting because if Mina knew that, then you probably would be missing your man parts already with this crazy Parisian lady. So she doesn't know that that's what it is. The question is, does he stick to it? I think that's reasonable. I think I want my family to work it out. Now, eventually, sometimes families are crazy and they can't work it out, and then you have to make a decision. Is your daughter going to be involved, or are you going to cut things loose or say, I'm not marrying you right now? But as of right now, I think that's a reasonable response. But I think you might want to be a little more open with those intentions so they know that, hey, there's a lot more on the line than just y'all being friendly.
I have watched so many scary movies. I feel like I'm one of them.
He said, I feel like I'm in a scary movie.
He had a really scary dog.
Oh, where's the dog?
Boy.
Yeah.
That is that. Look at that thing. That thing is terrifying just sitting there. And then she says she's going to move it, but he's like, no, please don't. Because, yeah, then it looks like the doll's just running all over the place. But, gotta love it, though. Hey. Terrifying things in there. He's like, I got all the boob pictures, and I'm like, what's going on here? Then I got the creepy dolls, and I'm like, what's going on here? She got like little props everywhere and stuff. He's like, I got some getting used to.
Oh my gosh, your beignets are still in the car.
Oh,
can I still eat them?
See, I'm telling you. He the beignets, he's still all about them. He left them in the car. He's like, can I please eat them? I'm telling you, give that guy a couple months. Every one of them abs is going to be gone. And he's going to be like, oh God, I made a mistake.
To be fair, I thought I had more time to tell him before he...
Like, you had a year.
Exactly. So she's saying, I didn't really tell my dad until right before you got here. And he said, I thought I had more time. You were with me for a year. You had a year. Like, that is a reasonable response. And it makes no sense why she's saying that. Other than to say, well, I didn't know how he would react to everything. It's like, but you thought that this would be better once he's here already, and you're acting like you thought you had more time, which is just not true. Nothing she's saying is making sense.
Not only did she lie to me, she also lied to her dad.
Yes, 100%.
I'm really uneasy about starting my life in America on the foundation of lies.
Yes, and I think that is a perfectly reasonable response what he said right there, because it wasn't just about him. He said not only did she lie to me, she lied to her dad, and starting it on that foundation of lies is not good. She didn't say, oh, you didn't tell him or left her dad out. No, she's like, I think it's messed up what she did to him too. And I think that's a really reasonable response and goes to his character.
When Aaliyah shows up at the interview and they're expecting a Douglas, if the interviewer is transphobic, that could be the end of our journey right then.
That right there, again, setting it up for that whole thing to be like, oh, it's, this whole victim mentality thing. Setting up, if they shows up and they're expecting Douglas, but Aaliyah's there, shows up looking like a woman, all the paperwork says man, questions can be had without being transphobic. So you running to that when it doesn't even make sense. And plus you still have the red flags of you applied for 2 other visas first. So they could be looking at all kinds of things that could be red flags. But all you want to say is, oh, they didn't agree because they didn't agree with your lifestyle. When you don't know that at all. You're just setting it up so you can claim something, even though you have no idea if that's true. And Juan continues to deal with it. Now he's in the lion's den dealing with the friends.
So we talked things over.
Oh, okay.
Long time ago as an adult.
Nice.
Jessica made her choice.
There you go. So they said they talked things over.
I see how happy Jess is with you. I see how much she loves you. I want you to show me how much you love her.
He does not owe that to you. Now she's going in talking about the whole thing. Did he cheat on the cruise thing? And he's saying, in reference to that, I talked with Jessica. She stayed with me. We made this decision. And she's saying, I want you to show me. You don't owe it to her friends. Now, you want to try to be in good graces with friends and family and all that, sure, but you don't owe explanations to them. Once she makes her decision, it's her decision. Her friends can voice their concerns, but she still has a decision to make, and their relationship is their relationship. They have a child at this point, and they're going to do what is best for their relationship. Friends are always going to be friends, but you don't owe an explanation to them. Did you sleep with that girl?
Oh, I did.
Oh, and he admits it. Look at this. And of course, according to her, it was her intuition. She knew it all along, when in reality, she didn't know it. She just felt like, she had a gut instinct, sure. Sometimes your gut's correct, sometimes it's not. And she ran with it. Really, she was just being relentless. Trying to protect her friend, whatever she's doing, but now she's acting like she's shocked. He finally admits to it, but the reality of the situation does not change. The fact is, they talked about it. Jessica forgave him. They decided to move on, and now the friend had to get it out for her own benefit. Well, if Jessica wanted to tell you, and I don't buy Jessica did not tell her, she did. This is just for TV, most likely, but he still doesn't owe the friend an explanation. But obviously, it gets even worse. The friend is not going to let this go. The friend made it seem like she just wanted to know the truth. Well, now you know the truth. Guess what? She's not going to let it go. And it's going to be a continued problem in their relationship, even if Jessica forgives him. So this is going to be a strain. But we'll see how that plays out. Probably not well, but to be determined. As far as everything else, it gets crazier. It gets crazier. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with all your friends. If you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. I appreciate all the support. Y'all are awesome, and I will see y'all next time.